my oil fit. Look. Hello, buddy. Little known fact about me, I used to be an actual Girl Scout in America. On my honour, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. Yes, I spent 4 summers of my life, in fact 2 with Mrs. Barry, over in America, in Massachusetts, working on a summer camp, and that was where I first discovered s'mores. We love s'mores so much, we actually had them at the wedding, and all the British people were like, oh, what are these things? And they get more and more popular here these days. But today, a very popular playlist I do, Barry Tries, the series in which I tries, have a marathon. If you have not seen them already, start after you finish this video, all right? We are doing some s'more eclairs from Tasty. You guys like me doing the tasty ones? I'm very excited about this one. It's eclairs, but there's rammed with marshmallow fluff. There's a s'more vibe going on. Instead of graham crackers, which is what you use in America, I'm using digestive biscuits. A little bit of British twist, but these look sensational, and for me, they bring back a little bit of that Girl Scout vibe. In fact, there's actually a whole playlist I could do on Girl Scout cookies. They do like the peppermint patties and Samoa. Is it Samoa? Samosa? No, I don't know what they're called. It was about 1 billion years ago, and I was absolutely ripped. Check this picture out. That was me. Can you believe it? I know I look a lot more healthier now, but yeah, I was basically swimming 7 days a week. An actual true story that happened on the summer camp. We saved a bloke that fell on a rope swing and cracked his head open, which is an amazing start to a recipe video. Right, we are going to make these eclairs. I love eclairs because they're kind of challenging, yeah? But the challenge is worth it. I just punched myself in the face. Worth it. All right, first things first, if you are using graham crackers, you're being authentic, you would use these now, but being the British guy I am, and to actually import graham crackers costs a lot of money. Oh, crumbs. Here's some plain flour and the crumbs. So mixing that in a little bit more. There we go. So, like I say, in there, we've got our plain flour. So you wouldn't normally put biscuit crumbs in with the batter we're going to use to make the eclairs, okay? Normally in a s'more, the biscuit or the graham cracker is what fuses together a toasted marshmallow and the chocolate. It actually helps to melt the chocolate and you get like a gooey marshmallow sandwich. So I just make those. Okay, so we're basically making a choux dough, okay? So this is some butter. Now, the Tasty recipe calls to use unsalted butter and then salt. I'm just using salted butter. I do that a lot, actually. It also says to cube it, but I can't be bothered because it's going to melt anyway. But we're going to add in some water, and we basically just let this melt and just start to simmer, okay? Cool. All right, that's starting to go there quite nicely. But what we'll do in a minute is actually add in these crumbs, and you normally add the flour, and that's to actually cook the flour. I never knew that. I never knew you had to cook flour. Medium rare flour isn't good. So I'm taking this off the heat now, although it's still going to have the residual heat from the hob. And this is basically going to like kill the party. It's going to absorb all of that butter and water. We're going to mix it together. It's going to get clumpy. The biscuits are going to be like, what the heck am I doing in here? I'm not normally in here. That's because you're part of a s'more eclair. Okay, you see now how that's bonding together just like a dough? That is what we want. All right, we'll steer that down for 5 minutes just to let it cool down a little bit, and then it should be okay to proceed. Yeah, the reason we really want it to cool down is if you can imagine, if we add the eggs into it being hot there and we start to mix it around, it's actually going to basically make scrambled eggs or an omelette in your pan. So we add the eggs gradually so that they sort of slowly incorporate into the mixture. And from memory, they normally take a little bit of a while to you think this egg isn't going to join. We'll find out. All right, so we're going to do 1 egg at a time, and that is a good start. Look at that. And no pun intended, because we're using the drumstick wooden spoon, we are going to beat it in like that. And like I say, at first it is going to look like it doesn't want to be part of it. Look how wet that's made it. But in a minute, it will come together. All right, cool. So that's slowly introducing the egg. You see? Now that is suddenly got thicker again, but just enough to pipe it. All right, grab your... Excuse me, I'm trying to do a cooking video. Mrs. Barry is going out for the day. What just happened?
Oh, so we were halfway to where we wanted to be, and then my mum's tyre was making a noise and she had a big bolt in it, so we've come back to get my car.
Had a bit of a breakdown. Do you remember the Girl Scout promise?
I promise to do my best to...
No.
I think.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. On my honour, I will try
I will try.
to serve God and my country. The rest?
That's
Yeah. Alright, best Girl Scout ever. Right then, we're going to dangle. This is a little hack for you. Get yourself a glass. Put your piping bag in there. In fact, I didn't know this hack. One of you guys taught me this years ago, and now I'm like, yeah, I kind of know this thing, but you know, it's just my life. Yeah. So you see how you kind of get an opening there, and I'm actually going to use a spatula this time, and just because it's a little bit more flexible than the wooden spoon, to help just encourage. I like that word. Encourage the choux dough. Hey, there it is. Into the piping bag. Well, I got a little bit left, but that's going to be more than enough. Can I eat that? I've just got my nozzle on, and look, it wants to escape. It's coming out that side as well, but I'm just going to go with it. Oh my gosh. I need to change my piping bag. What the heck? Okay, I'm not even going to explain what the last 10 minutes of my life has been like, but let's just say that this guy just had a brilliant view of it. Right, here. Leave it a little bit longer. Yeah, it's nice and fat. Boom. You see a little bump sticking up there? Mm-hmm. That is where you get a little bit of water and dab. No, I'm really, really happy with that. Now, there's one thing that I'm going to do that I've learnt from another choux pastry video I did ages ago, is if you flick a little bit of water on the tray, just not too much, because the oven is so hot initially, it's going to help to steam the choux pastry even more. It's going to help it. But please try not to get any on the dough itself, on top of it particularly. I've never done this before, but the recipe is telling me to brush some beaten egg on top. So obviously that tends to give something a nice golden colour. So these should look amazing. Our choux dough is ready to go. All right, so it's a hot oven first of all. Okay, that's going in at about 10 minutes first of all in the very hot heat. Then we'll lower it down. The first rule, a bit like Fight Club, the first rule of Fight Club, no one talks about Fight Club. The first rule of choux pastry cooking, right? You don't open the oven. Otherwise you end up with saggy choux. Yeah. Maybe that's where the name came from. If it does fail and go saggy, you could then line your choux with actual choux. No, just make it work. Okay, so hopefully you can see down there, they have enlarged massively. Do not open the oven, lower it by about 40 degrees, and we leave it again for 15 minutes. This is gonna start to help it hold its shape and dry it out a little bit. Critical again, please, please do not open your oven. Thank you. Can't see it too well, but very, very, very happy with those. Can you hear the oven? It's time. Oh, wow. These look amazing. Wow, I love the colour. It's slightly golden, but there's a sort of browniness to it as well. Oh. Now, there's another thing we need to do to get the bit of moisture that can still be inside there and actually still make them go saggy. Trust me, I've learned in the past from making eclairs, you don't want to fail at this stage. All right, so what I'm going to do is take an eclair like so and a sharp knife and literally, it's hot still, just put a little hole in it like that. You can do a cross if you want, just really a vent. I mean, that'll help, yeah, cross, because then we can pipe it from the bottom in a bit. Leave it on your wire rack like this, facing up so the steam can escape, and do that to all of them, like this. I got a little bit excited with that one actually, but yeah, it doesn't matter because once these have cooled down, we're going to have these big pockets to fill up with our marshmallows so we can inject that in there to go with our biscuit-infused choux. Yeah! Just while they're finishing off cooling down, we might as well do the chocolate ganache because we can reheat this at any stage. So in the background there, I've got the dark chocolate and we've got the double cream here, which is sometimes called heavy cream. So we'll warm this up and it's the warmth of this that will melt the chocolate. So about a minute in there just to get it nice and hot. And then we'll literally dunk the chocolate in. All right. Slide in the chocolate and let the cream do all the work. There we go. A nice chocolate ganache. All right, last up then, the marshmallow fluff. Now, this is sticky and horrible. Blooming tasty. But look at that. make sure you get the lid off. Because if you do, make sure there's no traces of foil or anything like that. You'll get an indoor fireworks display. If you get it all off, you can microwave this and it becomes much more pourable. Just also got to make sure you know how marshmallow expands. If you warm it too much, it will just spill out like the marshmallow guy from Ghostbusters. Yes, I took my eye off it. Look. Right, that's what happens. Ha, ha, ha. Look, see how maneuverable it is? Ow. Oh, yeah. Of course, what you're going to have to do is let it cool down, but getting this out is an absolute nightmare. And instead, it's now in our piping bag. Once it's cooled, we can fill our eclairs. All right, so now to show you, we've got the cross in there, my piping bag. Ugh. Push my nozzle in. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. It's filling it up with the fluff. Oh, it's actually raising the pastry. Oh, this is so messy. Probably because of the way I put it in there. But swipe it clean and you're filled with mallows. Okay, so here's some that I've piped. All we're going to do now, the ganache is still warmed. We're going to sit it in just so it coats it a little bit. Oh. Lift it up. Shaky, shaky, shake. See that? Ah. Yeah. I really like the idea of putting the biscuit crumbs in with the marshmallow as well, actually. I mean, maybe you could try that. This is it. We're on the home straight now. Look at that. You have earned this moment, folks. Take as long as you like. If the ganache is a little warm, you might get some dribble on it. But that's fine. It's up to you. It will set on there and look gorgeous. Okay. This is how you pimp one of these eclairs. We sit some marshmallows, which should normally be toasting, into the ganache. Almost looks like a little Titanic now, doesn't it? Chef's blowtorch. And toast the marshmallows on top. Look at that. And then to finish it, a sprinkle of those whizzed up biscuit crumbs. How cool does that look? I'm so tempted to eat all of those. I'm not. I'm going to be a good boy. Here we go. I quite like it. How the marshmallow, if you leave it sticking out a bit like that, it actually stays to your plate. You can probably tip it over your head. I'm not going to do that. Oh my god. Look at that marshmallow inside it. It is so naughty. There's kind of like a deceptive lightness to eclairs. We're like, yeah, that's quite light. I think I'll eat 6 more. And I really, really want to. Wow. I mean, this isn't my recipe. This is Barry Tries playlist, but hopefully I've inspired you to give it a go. Do check out the Tasty website for the full thing. I'll do my own write-up in my own words, but... Oh. The ganache as well, and the toasted marshmallows just bring through this sort of scent, this sort of honesty, where you're like, life is good. So there we go, another Barry Tries in the bag. Don't forget to check out the rest of the playlist if you wish. During the making of this video, I've already been sent a suggestion for an Alton Brown one, so that will probably come soon. Don't forget to subscribe for regular videos, and if you try any of my recipes, or even want to show off your cooking to me, take a picture, share it with me. I'll have a look. I'd like to see that. Cheers then. Bye.
Check your level, player. No matter what your style, the kitchen's for me. Simon's moustache, goatee, maybe all 3.
My sister's just come round and she's scoffing an eclair, right? I haven't got any makeup on, Barry. Don't show me. Oh my gosh. Huh? Bye. But my nephews are here. Go on, boys. Scoff down. Have a go. And your dog. This is our new dog, Loki. Hello. Hello. Nice nose. Any good? Yeah? I want a 1 word to describe it for both of you. Ready? Jack, do you want to go first?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
Bonkers.
Bonkers. Just like the video I did with you. Oh, you've got someone in your nose. And cheers, guys. All right, I'll do a really far out. Were they nice?
Amazing.
Thank you, Charlene. She basically looks like me with long hair, just in case you wonder.